You're listening to Saturday Morning Media. And now, back to our show. Elf Centered is made possible by the Saturday Morning Media Patreon patrons. To support the show and hear new episodes before anyone else, become a patron. Visit patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media for more information. And thank you for your support. It really is. He's usually the first one here.
He is usually the first one here, and, you know, he likes to get in, eat his snacks. There's, like, cracker crumbs everywhere.
He warms up our seats. He sits in our chairs to warm them up.
Each of our seats, yeah. Our own personal seat warmer.
This is very strange.
He hasn't texted me.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything to me either. Well, welcome to Elf Centered, everybody. My name is Gavin.
I'm Beatrice.
And Gary is not here. We don't know where Gary is. Normally he would be. I mean, this is the time we do the show every month, so. Yeah,
this is a little troubling because he has never missed a single. Has he missed a single show?
There has been, like, remember, like our very first show, our debut show. He was not here.
He wasn't here
because of the incident with the reindeer.
Oh, right.
But usually, even that, he told us, like, he wasn't going to be here. But this time, we haven't even gotten... I wonder, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that Mrs. Claus has him doing something that we don't know about, you know?
Well, I had heard rumors that Mrs. Claus had been, I don't know what the word would be, appointed, gifted, awarded an ambassadorship. Mm-hmm. And I knew that meant travel.
Right.
So that would mean that he also is traveling since he's her personal assistant.
Yeah. It's just weird that he didn't say anything. Like, he didn't...
I know. Well, and then there's all that, his penguins. I mean, goodness only knows what trouble they're up to.
Yeah, maybe they have him tied down... in the cellar of his mushroom hut. He's all tied up.
I wouldn't put it past him, especially Bordy.
Yeah. Well, Bordy, the blue-footed booby.
Right.
Fake penguin.
Yeah,
well, maybe he'll show up. I mean, I guess we'll go. I mean, the show has started, but maybe he'll come busting in here at any moment. But how is the social organizing going?
Oh, it's good. It's so much work. It's more work than I anticipated. I think of all the jobs I've had here in the North Pole, and I can't even believe I'm going to say this, being in charge of social events is by far the most challenging, the most exhausting, the most infuriating, and the most rewarding.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Well, I have to say that I have loved the little things you've done. I'm not even talking, like, the big events have been great. The ice skating, it's been wonderful.
Thank you.
But I love the little things, like the day where you had all those carnations shipped in, and then for a quarter, you could have a carnation sent to another elf.
Yeah.
And it was just like a wonderful way to brighten up somebody's day. It's like they just get a little carnation, you know?
Yeah, I got a lot of positive, for the most part. Mm-hmm. I got a lot of positive response from that. People were really touched. There were a few, but they shall remain nameless, members of our community who did not receive any carnations and took umbrage with me.
Right.
For that.
That's not your fault.
That's not my fault. I mean, you know, maybe if you smiled a little more, maybe if you weren't so strict with the rules.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if you didn't manage everybody with an iron clipboard, people would be more inclined to send you carnations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, people have, you know, elves have memories that equal elephants.
That's right. Long memories.
Yeah. Everybody talks about an elephant's memory, but nobody talks about an elf's memory.
Right.
And, you know, I think there's a few elves that have permanent indigestion from things they have consumed in the past, if you get my drift.
Right.
Wink, wink.
Well, that's, you know, they say an elephant never forgets, but an elf never forgets.
Never. Yeah.
That's the saying.
Capital N.
Yeah.
And so that person who I am talking about also didn't get any carnations, and she was very cross with me. So, but you know, I appreciate you saying that.
It was fun. I think the wonderful, as I said, the moonlight ice skating with the orchestra was fantastic. I'm so looking forward to coming up here in May on the 15th, the reindeer ride. That is going to be. I mean, who would have thought? Like, well, you've got these reindeers. Let's go. Let's saddle them up. And I mean, that's your genius.
Yeah, I'm getting there are a lot of people excited about that. The kids are really excited.
Right. Yeah.
They're really excited. And, why not give the residents of the North Pole an opportunity to experience what... I mean, not that Santa rides reindeers, but he certainly utilizes them.
Right, the flight.
The flight. So why not give them a little taste of what it's like to be in close proximity to a reindeer? Of course, I'm not sure that I'm going to actually ride a reindeer.
That's I'm sure you're going to have a lot of work to do. You're going to be there, but you're going to have a lot of work to do with the schedules and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And
so
collecting tickets, or I don't know how you are doing. Look at the wristbands, whatever it is, to see them.
Also, I'm terrified.
Oh,
yeah. I'm terrified.
What a brilliant, brave first step to take to even schedule this event.
Well, yeah, I thought, well, it could be one way of facing my fear, but also I'm not going to let my own fear limit, the experience of my elfin brethren.
Well, you know who will be there? Gary.
Hopefully.
Will be there. Well, hopefully, yeah, if he's back. But he loves those reindeer.
Oh, he does. He's got a bond with them. He's close to his penguins, but he's close to those reindeer. They have shared history.
I think if he could have a pet reindeer, he would cram one into his mushroom hut. I don't know how that would work. But
it's illegal, but because they're a protected species.
Right.
How's your job going?
Well, let me tell you, I love being outdoors. I don't know if you can see kind of the raccoon goggles sun I have. I love being outdoors.
You have a farmer's tan.
I do, which is very unique for being out here in the North Pole.
Yes.
But for de-icing all the icicles, it's hard work, but I love it. And I tell you, we got one of those new Tesla blowtorches.
Oh, wow.
It takes two of us to hold it. But me and Philip, we can de-ice a roof in seconds. Like it's pretty amazing. It's almost too good where it's like, listen, we can only turn this on for 2 seconds or else we're going to be buying, Norbert a new roof. So
you're going to melt the whole North Pole.
Well, we're very careful.
Okay.
We're very careful. We like to think of it as an icicle relocation program.
Oh.
Because what we do is we put a bucket underneath. We zap it with the flamethrower thing. Mm-hmm. The water from, because it evaporates. Some of it turns into steam, but a lot of it drips down in the bucket. Mm-hmm. We let it refreeze, and then we release it up near the base of the mountains.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's very conscientious.
Right. We don't want to, we certainly don't want to change the environment. We want to work with the environment, which I know you appreciate.
Oh, absolutely. Something that I have on my docket, which I haven't quite released yet, although I guess I'm releasing it right now over the airwaves, is I have planned we're going to be calling it the National Cleanup Day.
Wow.
So, well, not national. I mean annual. That's
for the North Pole, yeah.
For the I guess.
Yeah. For the nation of the North Pole, I guess. It's not really a nation, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, and it's going to be sort of a fun reward program. So for every piece of recyclable material that's found on the ground or wherever that's turned in, there'll be a reward for it. And for trash that's picked up and, just to make it fun. I want to make keeping our environment pristine. I want to make that a fun adventure.
Well, I don't know if you've planned the rewards already, but if those rewards involve Scotcheroos, I'm going to be finding lots of things to pick up.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that much.
It's going to have to be something that motivates people. So Scotcheroos may be on the list. Yes. Yep. What's the weirdest thing you've seen in your new job is? I
will say this. because I could get in a lot of trouble with this. Our job is we go around and we de-ice the roofs, of the huts, the workshops, of even the main house where Santa and Mrs. Claus are. We need a ladder for that one.
Oh, yeah.
But we go and we do it all, and there are some elves. I'm going to speak obtusely, like you spoke earlier, obtusely. There are some elves who maybe should invest in curtains.
Oh.
Because by no fault of, not by any nosiness on my part, just in doing my job. You're doing your job,
yeah.
Some elves, let's just say various states of undress when they're alone in their hut, which is perfectly great. But we do tell people, this is what worried me a little bit, is we tell people we're coming. We put that little hanger on the door that says, hey, tomorrow we're going to be there to de-ice your things. And this elf, windows, the curtains open, windows open, all the lights turned on in the hut during the middle of the day, almost like spotlights. And while we are there to undo our thing. So we filled the buckets and we got out of there. Is what we did. I don't even want to say, I don't want to assume gender, but I don't want to even say gender to because I don't want this person to be embarrassed. It did seem, though, that there was no embarrassment at all.
Almost as if they were looking forward to you being there.
Exactly.
Wow. So you're maybe providing more service than you anticipated.
Yes. Yeah. We knock on the door and say, we're done, just so you know, and here's the ice that was on your roof. We're gonna go. See you later. We just filled the buckets and we left. So we were not gonna stay at Norbert's house any longer than we had to. Anyway, it's a fun job. I enjoy being outside.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. And I can also see why some elves are very popular. But that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, so it's fun, and I love being outdoors, and it's great, and I enjoy it. I didn't think it, because it sounds like a lot of manual labor, Not that planning the social stuff and being assistant to Mrs. Claus is easy work or something like that, but you get to be indoors more. I'll say that much.
True.
I assume. I mean, you're always out with the social stuff, but
right.
Anyway, I enjoy it.
Well, good. I'm glad. So, I mean, we haven't heard how Gary...
I heard that helicopter fly by a few minutes ago. I wonder if that's him returning. Like he was
Maybe.
On some sort of mission or something for Mrs.
How exciting for him. I wonder how that's going. I have to say, between you and I,
yeah.
I had my doubts. I mean, Gary, as an assistant to anybody is,
Well, I think you will agree with me that I know you haven't necessarily been here every single time Mrs. Claus has been here, but there's a little magic between those two. And I'm not saying that in a romantic way. I'm just they click very, very well. And she certainly, enjoys his company, and I think the feeling is mutual. I think he loves hanging out with her, so...
Well, maybe that's what it's about. Maybe it's not necessarily about being the most organized or the most efficient, because those are not really two words I would...
Strong suit.
Of Gary's. But maybe it is about keeping somebody, uplifted. And so, yeah.
It would not surprise me in the least if... Like, they're just talking right now and they've lost track of time, and that's why Gary's not here. That would not surprise me.
Okay. All right. I just hope he's okay.
Yeah. I know there was that thing with that... Remember the SUV was parked out front a couple months ago?
And he lost a toe?
Lost a toe, yeah.
Yeah.
His vacation was not... Speaking of vacations, this is one thing I wanted to ask you before. We're running short on time here, but did you ever hear back about your audition?
I did.
Yeah?
Yeah. And they sent me a lovely letter. They said I did really well in the audition, and they were quite taken with me.
Of course.
But they're worried that It all really boiled down to my height.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And they just didn't think that they could handle it.
But I think you're an amazing actor. You're an amazing performer in all sorts of facets. Yo-yo. I won't mention the dancing that much. But
Thanks.
all of it, you're an amazing performer. And I don't think, that's, to me, that, why should that matter? I mean, look at Tom Cruise. How big is that guy?
Well, he wears special shoes.
Yeah.
With lifts in them.
And he's in everything. And you're a much better performer than he is. I mean, no offense, Mr. Cruise, but...
Yeah. Well, they just said that the lifts I'd have to wear would be, equivalent to basically me walking around with a ladder strapped to each foot.
Right.
So, or stilts.
Yeah.
And,
well, I'm sorry.
But, it was a very nice letter, and they said they will keep me on their list. Apparently they have a list of, actors they like. So they would keep me on that list, and if anything comes up that, warranted using the...
Yeah, there might be a little part for you somewhere. Yeah. I didn't mean to say little.
No,
I didn't mean to...
It's all right.
I meant to say...
It's quite all right. Maybe a Christmas movie,
Well, I'd say, here's my suggestion, and I don't want to do your job, but let's put on a play at the North Pole. You're the social director. Let's do it.
Gavin, that's a wonderful idea.
Well, I have one once or twice when I'm out there.
Oh, I love that. Yes. Let's put on a play.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'll audition.
Oh, great. I'd love it.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe stay tuned. There might be a play in the future.
Yes.
We just want to give the forecast before we wrap up here. The forecast for tonight is snow. Tomorrow morning you can expect light flurries in the morning, heavy flurries around noon, and then a blizzard tomorrow night. So I want to keep warm. We got to get all the work done while the flurries are flurring. But there you go. That is this episode of Elf Centered. My name is Gavin.
I'm Beatrice.
It's so weird not having him here.
I know.
We'll talk to you next time. I think I'm sure he's okay. I'm sure it's like they got eating potato chips and chatting, and that's where they are.
Maybe. I might stop by his hut after I leave.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Actually, I'm scheduled to do his hut today. So
okay.
I hope he has his curtains pulled. This episode of Elf Centered was completely improvised by Jayne Entwistle, Chris Sheets, and Grant Baciocco. Music for this episode by Kevin MacLeod. This episode was edited by Steven Staver. Elf Centered is a production of Saturday Morning Media and made possible by the Saturday Morning Media Patreon patrons who've gone to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media and set up a monthly pledge for as little as $1 a month. Patrons get new episodes before they are released, behind-the-scenes information, and exclusive bonus content. If you'd like to support this show and the other fun content from Saturday Morning Media, become a patron. Head on over to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media and set up your monthly pledge today. You can also tell a friend about the show or leave the show a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you so much for listening. Elf Centered is copyright 2018 Saturday Morning Media, Grant Baciocco executive producer, all rights reserved. www.saturdaymorningmedia.com. You've been listening to Saturday Morning Media. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.